Is 8 o'clock on a Friday morning. It is December the 1st. Rise and shine, my friends. How are ya? This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week to chat about what's going on in the world of weather. And today, a little cloudy over top of us. Let's take a live look over at the vehicle assembly building. And yeah, we've got some clouds. Not a big problem. As a matter of fact, we pop up our first warning live Doppler radar, and we don't see any rainfall, at least on the wide perspective. That's the good news. But if I pop up southern Brevard County, we have been watching a few showers kind of trying to creep on up from Indian River County. So Miko, Grant, Valkyria, my friends down that way, just a heads up. Temperature-wise, definitely comfortable, but definitely milder than we've seen these last few days. It's 66 in Orlando, 60 degrees flat in the Villages, 55 in Ocala, 59 degrees in Palm Coast, and 68 in Melbourne. So it is a lovely start with mostly cloudy skies. Do notice that our 12-hour forecast keeps those mostly cloudy skies around upper 60s this morning. 70s pretty quickly. We'll get to about 81 degrees by 1 o'clock, and we'll top off today at 83. So it's going to be a nice and warm forecast for us today compared to where we've been these last several days. It is a lovely, lovely start. And it is December the 1st. So, of course, it makes sense. Let's bring up the temperatures on the 1st of December, because why not, right? Good times. Good times. Juan, good morning to you. Dawn, good morning. Chris, good morning. Good morning. Priscilla, how are ya? Hope you're doing well. Tim says a single layer day on the burst scale. That's right. I don't even have the undershirt on. I'm just straight up single layer. And I've got it's a Columbia shirt, so it's like a nice and light one. I'm actually over at the Orlando Sanford International Airport. I'm going to do a little flying this morning. This is a fun week because I get to fly twice in the week. Because last week I didn't fly at all because of Thanksgiving. So there you go. So anyway, my flight should get going around 9:30 this morning. So I'm like, well, I'll just drive over to the airport, hang out a little bit, and get the airplane pre-flighted and all that fun stuff. And then, yeah, go fly for a couple of hours. I noticed Alex Alisi already took off, so that's kind of funny. Anyway, we've got the clouds, but they're high enough that I don't have to worry about it. So there's that. If you've got plans around town today, that 83 is the temperature in Orlando. Notice area-wide, though, we've got nice warm readings, right? 83 in Claremont, 83 degrees in St. Cloud, looking at about 80 degrees in Titusville, 79 today over in Daytona Beach. So yeah, Carol says happy December. Happy December to you, Carol. Listen, when we talk about a new month, we always, I mean, I don't want to say we always, but we do typically like to look at the months kind of like database, if you will. This is the almanac for the month of December. Let's take a look at it, okay? Average high temperature starts off at 76, drops during the month down to 72. Those average low temperatures drop to 50 by the end of the month. We have made it into the mid 90s, which is not ideal, but we've also made it into the teens. And at the bottom, kind of the highlights of the month, severe weather as the storm systems move in from the Gulf of Mexico as possible. And we also can see freezes. I mean, Ocala, we did see a freeze already this week. So yeah, these things are possible. Remember, we are now out of hurricane season, so that's a good thing, although tropical stuff can happen from time to time. And I mentioned this on my Tracking the Tropics deal yesterday, but I do also want to mention here, this is a look at our hotspots for the year with all of the named storms. In red were the hotspots, in yellow were the areas of interest, and I'm proud to say that once again this year, our highlighted areas were landfall points 100% of the time. The Nicole part of the pattern, of course, if you're familiar with our long-range forecast world, there were no impacts on the East Coast because all of those Nicole part of the pattern systems stayed out to sea. I was talking to, and you may be familiar with Royal Caribbean Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer, formerly of WFOR down in Miami, but I was just chatting with him yesterday, and he's like, that Nicole part of the pattern didn't give you any storm. So I'll give you 80%, which is still good. And I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, I'm proud of the work we did when it comes to the hurricane forecast. And so 80%, the way I look at it, yeah, because, and his point is valid that Nicole part of the pattern did not give us a named system. My perspective, whenever we look back, I always look at what the percentage of actual landfalls gave us, what percentage of the actual landfalls went into or not into hotspots. And so for that's 100%. It's not always 100%, and I could never actually expect 100% of the time. Like if we go back to 2020, for example, these are the landfall hotspots for 2020. You can very clearly see there was that one into Jersey that was not in the hotspot, but the vast majority of them that year were. So anyway, I'm always trying to do good, and if you missed the conversation yesterday on Tracking the Tropics, it was a good one. I'm proud of the work that Jeremy and I have done, and I'm excited to have a little while now in an off season to start work on our next hurricane season forecast, which of course we will debut 3 months from now. Which it sounds like a lot of time, but really it's not a lot of time. We've got a lot of work to do ahead of us. Yeah. So anyway, enough about that. Back to our local stuff where we are looking at a nice and cool morning, but into the afternoon, t-shirts and shorts, my friends. That's what to wear, what to dress the kids. Obviously, most of them should already be on their way out the door. Futurecast not really overly concerning with weather. Let's peek in on our 7-day forecast here and just kind of see where we're headed, and then we can kind of get into some more detail. First off, today, 83 degrees, our high temperature. Tomorrow, 84, and it's going to be a comfortable but milder morning, upper 60s. Now, Sunday, straight up warm, like nearly 70 in the morning. And then we start to watch some winds shifting around into next week and some nice weather. I've had a lot of people these last few days ask like what that little icon there is, that 13.1. That is because tomorrow is the it's the OUC Orlando half marathon. And so if you're running, my brother's running the half, my wife and kids are doing the 5K down there. If you're out, this is a WESH. We're going to be out broadcasting. Sheldon, Stewart, and Michelle are running the race and broadcasting during that. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of fun. If you're heading out to the race, say hi to them. I'll be in the studio. Kellyanne will be out in the weather lab broadcasting. So we're going to have like a whole on-air broadcast thing. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at. Would I like the temperatures to be a little cooler? Yes. Do I have control over it? Contrary to some beliefs, I do not. I do not have control over it. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah. And then tonight, we've got the tree lighting at the Lake Mary City Hall. I believe the event starts at 6:15. I could be wrong. I believe it starts at 6:15. So come down. Christina Watkins and I will be doing that tonight. That will be a lot of fun. If you're anywhere around Lake Mary, my kids call it Christmas Land. So come down for that. It will be a lot of fun. Yeah. Cindy, what does the image consultant say about them being all hot and sweaty on camera if they're running and broadcasting? This is one of those cases where the image consultant's data goes out the window. Yeah. There was like National Running Day. I don't remember when it was, but National Running Day, I got a t-shirt, I got a WESH dry fit shirt, and I was like, I looked at the boss and I was like, Audrey wouldn't love this. And the boss laughed and was like, Audrey doesn't consult when we're out running. So the way, just so that you know, the way that it works is, and I think I've shared this with you before, but to make TV is not hard. To make TV professionally is hard. Like I'm sitting on a laptop in a parking lot at the FBO right now. Is it professional looking? It's pretty decent. I've spent some time on it, but I'm running it back at the television station via cell phone. So, it's like, you can do TV with a cell phone. To make it look perfect is, that's why we have the bigger cameras. So there's a way to we use TVU for our live streaming, like in the field, and so there's an app called TVU Anywhere where the photographers can be out, or the reporters. So like Sheldon's going to be out running, and when they want him to go on TV, he's going to pop up the TVU Anywhere app, and he'll be able to just kind of run with it and talk to you on his cell phone. So, is it going to look perfect? No, but he's running a dang race, so it is going to be what it's going to be. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. So come see us tonight at the Christmas light ceremony in Lake Mary. Tomorrow, of course, that's the fun OUC Orlando half and 5K. I don't know if there's still bibs available. Track Shack is the sponsor for the event, so they would know if you're interested in that sort of thing. All right. All right. So let's look at this weekend a little bit, my friends, because we've noticed that those temperatures are starting to warm. Essentially, we're watching a storm system tomorrow morning up around like the mouth of the Mississippi. It's going to turn our winds, and that's the culprit for this additional humidity, these warmer temperatures, that sort of thing. There may be a shower or two tomorrow. Rain chance is going to be relatively low, but into Sunday, as that next front moves in, that's where we're going to get the better opportunity for showers. There. Yeah. Good times. Let's see here. Willie's asking, what's FBO? It's a fixed base operator. It's like a general aviation terminal, if you will. Yeah. When do we start the Coffee Talk drive-through? I guess we'll probably start it 2 weeks, because next week I'm doing Share Your Christmas this on Friday morning. So I'll be out live and I'll do a coffee talk, but it's not going to be a drive-through. So 2 weeks. We'll do 2 weeks. Does that work for everybody? Who am I going to get? Who should I get? I'll have to start thinking about that. Yeah. That storm system looks like it's coming from the Bay of Campeche. Yes, I need some coffee. My voice is still not perfect. All I have to talk to, though, after I talk to you, is air traffic control. So that'll be fine. Get Alex's number one. Get out. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. He's actually flying. So I was, when I first got here, I pulled up the air traffic. I pulled up the ground frequency just to listen to it, to kind of familiarize myself with what ops are today. And then I pulled up the live pattern with airplanes, the ADSB data, and I immediately saw Alex's airplane taking off, and I texted him. He hasn't texted back because he's flying, but I was just like, what are the odds I pull this up and I see you flying? That's funny. So anyway, there's that. Coffee talk from the plane. We're not going to do it from the plane, at least not live, but maybe we could tape something. I don't know. I have to figure the logistics of that. Hold on a second. All right. So yeah, we're not going to do coffee talk live from the plane, but we may put something together there. All right. So any questions about anything so far? How we doing? We'll go back and look tropics as well. I wanted to, not that there's anything going on right now, but any questions at all in terms of where we're at? Yeah. Weekend forecast, again, not looking bad, but those temperatures are warming. I plan on, so we're doing the wife's doing the race. I'm, of course, doing the broadcast tomorrow morning. And then afterward, it's like, all right, maybe we'll pop over to a theme park. It's gonna be a little warm. So it's like almost summertime, like procedures is kind of what we're thinking for tomorrow. Yeah, it just figures like we get back to December, and then boom, we throw in the heat and the humidity. Yeah, that sounds safe. That's why we're not doing anything live. Yeah. Chris, it's funny. A few people have asked on pilot groups that I'm on Facebook, like, does Starlink work? And apparently somebody has gotten it to work. I don't know. Apparently somebody has gotten it to work. Yeah. Is today a good boat day, Intracoastal? It's going to be a little breezy. It's going to be a little breezy, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah. All right. So let's look at some of the numbers for hurricane season. And again, these are things that I had mentioned on our Tracking the Tropics yesterday. First things first, again, just revisiting our review of hurricane season from our highlighted areas to the landfall points. Harold, Idalia, and Ophelia were the only named storms that made landfall, and they all made landfall in our hotspots. So, very proud of that metric. When we look at the numbers here, this was the actual numbers versus the forecast we put out on March the 1st. So 20 named storms was the final, 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. We called for 14 to 18 named storms preseason in March, 7 to 9, and 2 to 4. So we were, I'm very happy with those numbers. When we compare our numbers to everybody else, now these are their preseason forecasts. So we came out with ours, the WJCL/WESH forecast in March. Then in April, Colorado State came out with theirs at 13. And then NOAA was after at 12 to 17, and AccuWeather was 11 to 15. So, at least when it comes to the preseason numbers, I'm very proud of ours. Now, of course, everybody else updated theirs and upped their numbers. We don't touch them. Our goal every year is to leave well enough alone. So I'm very, very, very happy with where our forecast came in, and I'm very, very happy the fact that we didn't get hit with anything too major in too highly populated of an area. So hopefully that continues next year. Yeah. Cindy, my mom and I were talking last night. I told her it'd been cold here this week. She asked how cold. I told her highs in the 60s. Pretty sure she fell out of the chair laughing. Well, where is she, Cindy? I mean, I'm sure that if she's from in another spot, yeah, for sure. Christine, good morning. Happy to have you live. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Mike says, hate it when work interrupts coffee talk. I know, and you know what it is I just want to make sure Kellyanne's working on the weather lab to get it ready for tomorrow, and I just want to make sure she's good to go. Yeah, there were a lot of fish storms this year, indeed. Yep, yep. Mike, preseason hurricane forecast is like a pimple. Once it's out, don't touch it. Yeah, one of the things when Jeremy had worked on his stuff um, in winter climates, but when he moved to WJCL in Savannah, he had already kind of gotten me interested in the forecasting, and we kind of went over like some ground rules of what we want um, to do. And one of the things was the Ronco set it and forget it, and that was a big deal for me. So I think we're pretty good here. I think we're pretty good here. Yeah. Chris, your graphic should show a chronological line indicating when the hurricane forecast was released. I agree. I will also say, Chris, that Jeremy Nelson built that graphic and I just ripped it off of his computer. So I haven't had time to update it. So there you go. Do we have any ideas to the cycle length for 24? We're at the moment thinking around a 45-ish day cycle. That's kind of the working thought, but we'll have to see how this plays. Yeah, it's not 100% dialed in yet, but that's kind of the working thought right now. Yeah, so that's where we're at, friends. Great grandkids are coming from Ohio, hoping to go to SeaWorld in the warmth. Yeah, well, we've got plenty of that. We definitely have some nice warm temperatures here these next couple of days. Yeah, gotta love that. So, any questions, everybody? Any questions at all while we're just chatting it up? I'm fine to chat. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I've got your dreams, having them come true. At least what I'm able to do, which is tell you the forecast. I don't know. Great grand. Oh, I already read that, Betty. Yeah. All right. So, anything else? So, yeah. So, today, tree lighting Lake Mary, tomorrow, OUC. Next Friday morning, come join me at the Daytona Speedway. Share your Christmas. I'll put you on TV if I can. Put a sweatshirt on this morning. I'm dying. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely shorts, sleeves, and this is a Columbia shirt, so it's a very like light shirt. Yeah, yeah. I'm very good to go with the relaxed. Would iced hot chocolate be just chocolate milk? Oh, Cindy, it depends. Because some people put water in for hot chocolate, which is disgusting to me. Yeah, but that's a good one. I like that. I like that. All right, people, that's all I got. One last check on the 7-day forecast. Let's look. Well, let's look. Looking good. Maybe a sprinkle or two, Tabitha. I don't think it's going to be too bad. Yeah, kids are marching in a parade. That sounds like a lot of fun. Once we dial the cycle duration in, we'll be able to start looking at some long range forecasting, Mary. Yeah. And then actually, I'm onboarding, I don't know the timeline yet, but I'm onboarding stations with some graphics. So that's going to be a pretty big project for me in the next couple of months, weeks. I don't know. So that's one of my projects. We bought sidebar for those that are like, what does that matter for you? I do the graphics for our entire company, and we bought 2 Fort Myers stations, what, like 6-8 months ago, something like that. So I need to get them onto some graphics. Yeah. Cindy, I think this upcoming week, Cam comes back. Thank God. So ready to have her back. I mean, I know she wants to stay home. I get it. But for me, selfishly, and the rest of the weather team, like, we could use the help. So, yeah. All right. Get out and enjoy your day. Yeah. I'm going to go fly, y'all. What's the ceilings here? I mean, it's overcast at the Sanford Airport. Well, let me hold on one second. So the weather at Orlando Sanford Airport. Hide plate. It's VFR, weather, winds calm, skies clear. Well, it's not clear. It's just must be really, really high cirrus. Okay. Ooh, density altitude at 400 feet. Very good. All right. Any other questions? Weather does look fabulous. Love that. Love that. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Go fly. Don't, yeah, I know. Don't let your arms get tired. I love it. All right. Go have a great Friday, everybody. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Tomorrow morning, we'll do it in the studio. And yeah. Sound good? Sound good? 5470 kilo. Look it up on the old FlightAware. You'll see what I'm doing next 3 hours. Now through about, well, it's going to be about 9 a.m. through noon, November 5470 kilo.